Welcome to Newsbreak.
Okay, let's jump right in. First up, some significant moves on immigration in the U.S.
Yeah, I saw that. There's a new policy.
That's right. A pretty big one. It allows for migrants to be deported to third countries, so places they aren't actually from.
That sounds complicated. Raises questions about safety, doesn't it? And international agreements.
Exactly. It streamlines things maybe, but
Yeah.
you have to ask about the guarantees for those individuals. Humanitarian protections.
And we're seeing immediate effects, right? Like those raids in California.
Yes, absolutely. Over 360 immigrants detained recently. Places like Camarillo, Carpinteria, agricultural fields.
Oh, wow. And wasn't there a tragic incident linked to that?
There was, unfortunately.
Yeah.
In Camarillo, a man, Jaime Alanis, 57 years old, he died after falling from a roof while trying to flee. It really underscores the human cost here.
Such a difficult situation. And there was also a major arrest. Something about gang activity.
Yeah, an important MS-13 member was arrested up in Nebraska, apparently one of El Salvador's most wanted.
So that shows the ongoing efforts against, like, organized crime structures.
Definitely. A sign that enforcement continues on that front.
Okay. And legally speaking, there's a challenge brewing, too.
Right. The government's appealing a court ruling. This ruling, it prohibits detaining people based only on racial profiling.
Ah, so that classic tension between enforcement tools and civil liberties.
Precisely. It's a really core issue being debated there.
And one last thing on immigration old cases.
Yeah, this is pretty significant too. Since February, over 25,000 immigration cases that were administratively closed while they've been reopened.
25,000. Wow, that's a big shift in the legal landscape for a lot of people.
A huge shift. Definitely changes the outlook for many who thought their cases were settled.
Okay, let's pivot now to some global hotspots. The situation in Gaza. It sounds devastating.
It really is. The numbers are just staggering. Health officials are reporting over 200 Palestinians killed in just the last 3 days alone. And at least 28 more just on July 14th. The total death toll is now over 58,000. It's a severe humanitarian crisis, no question.
And specific attacks are still happening daily.
Yes. For instance, on July 13th, an Israeli attack hit a water distribution point. At least 10 Palestinians killed, 6 of them children.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. At a water point.
And the same day, another attack killed 17 in a market in Gaza City. The impact on civilians is just immense.
And any movement on truce talks.
Still deadlocked, unfortunately. No breakthrough there.
And the violence isn't just confined to Gaza, is it? What about the West Bank?
No, it's escalating there, too. A really terrible incident. A 20-year-old Palestinian-American visiting family from Florida was beaten to death by Israeli settlers.
Beaten to death. That's horrific.
And the second Palestinian was shot dead in that same incident. It just shows how tense and violent things are getting across the board.
Shifting slightly, but still related, there was some action regarding the blockade. A ship.
Yes, the ship Handala. It set sail from Italy. The aim is to try and break the blockade on Gaza, deliver aid.
A symbolic but persistent effort then.
Exactly. Shows the ongoing international focus on getting aid in.
Okay. And just quickly, there was a plane crash in the UK.
A small one, yes. Near London on July 13th. Took off from Sutton Airport, crashed shortly after. Not many details beyond that yet.
Right. Okay, let's turn to the economy now. Some mixed signals here, starting with unemployment.
Well, the initial signal looked okay. U.S. unemployment claims stayed low up to July 10th. Usually that's a good sign for the job market.
But then came the big news. Tariffs.
Yeah, that kind of overshadowed things. President Trump announced new tariffs, 30% on imports coming from the European Union and Mexico.
30%, that's quite high. Effective soon.
August 1st. And he also threatened to hike them even higher if there's any retaliation.
So we're potentially looking at another trade war heating up.
It certainly raises that possibility. It's a very protectionist move.
Yeah.
And it could definitely impact consumer prices, supply chains, the whole 9 yards.
How did the markets take it?
Well, you saw some volatility, especially in precious metals. The dollar index stayed relatively stable, interestingly.
But Treasury yields.
They rose. Treasury yields going up often points to inflation fears, and these tariffs are definitely fueling those fears.
And gold. Still the safe haven.
Seems like it. Gold continues to be seen that way when there's this kind of uncertainty.
So with all this going on, tariffs, inflation fears, what's the thinking at the Federal Reserve? Are they going to cut rates?
That's the big question. And right now there's a clear split among Fed officials. They're divided on whether cuts are needed this year.
The tariffs must really complicate their decision-making.
Absolutely. The uncertainty just makes it Much harder to predict the economic path and decide on the right monetary policy.
Okay, let's lighten the mood a bit. Sports. Big football final happened.
Yeah. The first ever FIFA Club World Cup 2025 wrapped up. Chelsea took the title.
Oh, neat. Who'd they beat?
Paris Saint-Germain, 3-0 in the final. Cole Palmer got player of the match, scored 2 goals.
Nice. And I heard President Trump was there.
He was, yeah. He was present at the award ceremony. Quite the photo op.
Interesting. Okay, and a quick highlights from UFC Nashville.
Oh, it was a night of really fast finishes. July 12th, Derek Lewis won by TKO in just 35 seconds.
Wow, 35 seconds.
Yeah, and 2 other fighters, Evior Petrino and Walter Walker, they both got submissions in under a minute. Just explosive stuff.
Really highlights how unpredictable that sport can be.
Totally. Blank and you miss it sometimes.
All right, let's wrap things up with what's hitting the cinemas in the U.S. Anything interesting?
Well, there's a documentary called Apocalypse in the Tropics, and a few other films like Baby Assassins, Trey Animale, and Motel Destino.
Okay.
But what really jumps out, I mean, it's kind of overwhelming, is the number of sequels and reboots.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Get ready for this list. Fantastic Four, The First Steps, Jurassic World Rebirth, The New Superman, Happy Gilmore 2.
Happy Gilmore 2? Seriously?
Apparently. Also, The Old Guard 2, a new Smurfs movie, Zombies 4, Day of the Vampire, and reboots of Freaky Friday, and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Wow. That is a lot of familiar titles. Hollywood really leaning into the known quantities.
Seems that way. Something for almost every established fan base, I guess.
So when you step back and look at all this, I mean, from major policy shifts and global crises to, sports wins and movie sequels, it's quite a whirlwind.
It really is. It's just a snapshot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of how fast everything moves. Complex international issues, economic tremors, cultural happenings all at once.
Exactly. It makes you wonder, how do you process it all? How do you find the important threads in this huge amount of information flying at us?
That's the challenge, right? What's the signal? What's the noise? What are the 1 or 2 things from all this that really stick with you, that maybe make you want to dig a little deeper yourself?
Yeah. It's definitely a lot to think about. Where do you even start sometimes?